Hi guys, Coach RP here with the Run and Science. Today we are doing a long review of the Skechers 2025 models. There's 3 new models. This is a rebranding of the Skechers running shoes lineup. This is what the performance Skechers used to be, and they came out with 3 new models. 2 of them are sort of a evolution of previous model. This is this model here, which is called Skechers Aero Spark, and this model here, which is called the Skechers Aero Burst. And then one is completely new, which is this one right here, which is called Skechers Aero Tempo. So we are going to discuss the 3 models all together, starting from their daily trainer. This shoe right here is called, as I said, Skechers Aero Spark. It is their daily trainer, and it is a quite decent daily trainer. It's reasonably well priced. So let's see what this shoe is all about, starting from the bottom, where we find the usual, and when I mean that, I mean really good, Goodyear rubber. So the outsole is the usual Goodyear rubber. Skechers has a partnership with Goodyear, and this is very good in terms of grip. It's probably one of the best on the market right now, together with Puma grip and Adidas Continental / light traction. This is comparable. This is a very good outsole. This good outsole is true for all 3 of these shoes. All 3 have Goodyear rubber at the bottom, and all 3 are essentially fantastic. Now let's talk about the midsole. The midsole is interesting because this midsole, I believe this is a 3630, so 36 millimeter in the heel, 30 millimeter at the front, 6 millimeter drop. This is a super critical midsole. As typical from Skechers, they had a patent on supercritical foam. In fact, Skechers was the first on the market with this supercritical foam. With supercritical foam, it's a CO2 based supercritical foam. They have a patent on that, and nobody can replicate that. In fact, that's why Puma, for example, is using nitrogen infused foam rather than CO2. The result is exactly the same. It's a supercritical foam. It's light. This is, I believe, EVA. They don't disclose what's in there. Based on what I feel underfoot, this I believe is EVA. It is decent. It is decent. For the price of this shoe, this is a decent midsole. Okay, it's super critical, so it's what you expect. It's light, it's responsive, it's on the firmer side. It's nothing really to write about. It's definitely not the best midsole I've ever tested, but it is a decent midsole. And then finally the upper. The upper is comfortable. It's reasonably breathable. It's plush where it needs to be, like right here at the heel. It's reasonably plush. The tongue is decent. The tongue is gusseted, as one would expect from a decent daily trainer. It costs $130. It is reasonably priced. Unfortunately, it was announced at $120, and then it was when it came out last month, it was raised to $130. I guess that's the trend these days. I believe it would have been a great value at $120. At $130, it's competitive with all the other basic daily trainer on the market. Would I suggest this over a Nova Blast? Absolutely not. But it is not a bad daily trainer. It is not a bad daily trainer. I know Skechers has a sort of a bad reputation as a brand. It's mostly undeserved, especially in the running business. They've always done pretty decent. They have a performance division within the company that's developing these running shoes. And the performance division has always produced very good products, including the Skechers Ride. This is the evolution of the Skechers Ride. It's not a new shoe. It's a Ride 12, if you want. And this is a decent shoe, as the ride was decent. So I'm not complaining about the brand itself. What I'm complaining about is the fact that, as usual, they dilute it a lot within their website. They have a bunch of crap that looks exactly like this, and it is not this. It's not developed by the performance division. It looks like they're doing internal competition between their performance division, which is the division that produces good shoes, and the crap division that produces very bad shoes, and they compete with each other. That doesn't make any sense to me. But in general, if you can get ahead of these are good daily trainer. What I also don't like about, other than the increase in price, is the fact that nowadays they've also removed every promotion from these shoes. Used to be that the Skechers, the performance division of Skechers, were priced competitively, and on top of that, you used to be able to get good discounts, all the promotion that they do on their website. Now they follow other brands such as Puma and Adidas, where they remove the performance. These three shoes, they are removed from every promotion. So really, you'll have to pay $120 for this. Sorry, under $30 for this plus tax. I'm not sure about this move because, again, as usual, Skechers, every 5 years, they come up with a new revolution, with a new identity, and then everybody forgets about it because it's Skechers. So if you're not even competitive on the price point, then I don't really get it. But overall, this shoe is decent. It is a little firm, a little heavy. It doesn't wow me, but it's a daily trainer. All right. So if you compare this to a Pegasus, Nike Pegasus, this is decent. Okay, it's on the same level. Among these three, this is the most boring one. All right. So that's what I will say. This is solid, boring running shoes for daily miles. Now let's move on to the most exciting one, and this is this bad boy here. This is extremely tall. It's, I believe, 43-37 in terms of cushion in the heel, 43-37 in the front. It's called the Skechers Aero Burst, as you can see right there, and it's honestly a very good max cushion shoe. Again, the midsole, the outsole is the usual Goodyear grip, so no questions about it. The midsole, in this case, I feel like it's much more lively than the Spark. It is a little softer, a touch softer. It is obviously the biggest difference. It's much more of a midsole. The rocker is in the right position, at least to my mechanics. It's pretty decent in terms of toe off, in terms of easiness to turn it over. And it's still responsive despite the weight. It's a little bit bouncy. It's a good shoe. It's a really good max cushion shoe. What I don't like about this shoe, well, not much. The upper is super plush. Okay, so this upper here reminds me of the Brooks Glycerin Max. This is extremely plush, maybe even too plush in region where it's not needed, which makes it a little warm, not really breathable. And I run in Florida, so this is a issue, and it makes the shoe overall pretty heavy. Okay, so this is a downside of this shoe. But other than that, if you like max cushion shoes, this is a really, really well-made max cushion shoe. The material down here is still supercritical foam. I believe there's some TPU in here. It's more responsive than this. I believe this is all EVA, and this should be a little bit of TPU in there. Again, they don't disclose what is in here. They call it Hyperburst Ice. They call both of them Hyperburst Ice. I don't think this is the same material. I think this has some TPU. It has more response to it. It is a much more exciting shoes than this. Okay, so this one cost $150. And again, same discussion as this. This was presented at $140. in January. And I was very excited at 140, especially because Skechers has good promotion in there. So they said, well, if this shoe costs 140 and then you can get maybe a 20% discount on it, you can buy it in the order of 110 or so. This will be amazing at 110. This will be the best max cushion shoes for the price if it was priced at 140. Again, with some promotion, getting it down to 110. Keep in mind that Puma Mag Max, which is very comparable to this, very similar midsole, slightly different upper, but very similar midsole. The Puma Mag Max, I believe, is 180. And the Brooks Glycerin Max, which is the other shoe that feels almost exactly identical to this, is $200. So this one at 140 would be a banger. At 150, it's still good price. The fact that they remove every promotion out of it, they don't accept any promotion for this shoe, so you have to pay 150. I'm not sure. You're Skechers, people hate you, so you produce good shoes, just try to sell them. This is my opinion on it. And in order to sell them, it's not just enough to produce good shoes. There's a lot of people, a lot of brand that produces good shoes, and they don't sell. And I'm afraid this is gonna be one of them. This is a good shoe. This is a big thumbs up. It's the most exciting of the three for me. It's a little heavy, but other than that, it's a competitor to most of the max cushion shoes out there, including the Puma Mag Max and the Brooks Glycerin Max, which are the two shoes that I would directly compare these to. All right, so let's move on to the final one, and this is controversial. This looks amazing. It's called the Skechers Aero Tempo. This looks amazing. It's a brand new product. This is really a brand new product. What is it? They brand it as a racer / trainer. So they don't know if it is a racing shoe or a super trainer. So the stacks are, I believe they have here a 36 millimeter of foam in the heel and a 32 millimeter here in the front. So it's a 4 millimeter drop, which is totally fine. The foam here is a brand new formulation. This does not have any EVA. I believe it is either TPU or TPEE, one of the two foams there. It is super critical, CO2 based like these two, but it feels very different. And this has a carbon plate in there. Okay, so this is a super shoe. This is a super shoe. They themselves don't know if this is a super trainer or a racing shoe. Now let's talk about this. Super trainer versus racing shoe. What is a super trainer? There's a lot of confusion in the market right now. Luckily, super trainer some people are getting away from the super trainer definition. But what is a super trainer? To me, super trainer is a shoe that the people like myself, middle back to the pack runners, can use to race. But the biggest difference between a racing shoe and the super trainer is how do they behave at slower paces. Okay, so a super trainer for me is a shoe that has premium materials, that has racing material, especially the foam and the plate. They have to be similar to the racing shoe, but they're toned down a bit. All right, so they're a little bit more mellow, and that will allow for the shoe to be used at a slower pace. Even top level athlete, when they train, they have intervals, and part of the intervals is running at a slower pace. So this shoe, if it is a super trainer, should be good at top range speed in the interval and the low range speed in the interval. So to me, a super trainer is a shoe that most of the middle back of the pack can run in, can race in, but with the additional constraint that it should be decent. It should be decent at slower paces. Now, what about this? What is this? Premium material altogether. The upper is fantastic. It's this TPU mesh that basically is not even there. It breathes fantastically. The outsole is the usual Goodyear, so it's fantastic. What is this midsole? Well, this midsole is very aggressive. This is the problem that I have with this shoe. This shoe is not a super trainer. This shoe cannot go slow. This shoe can only be pushed to the limit, at least for me. This is firm, responsive, and very aggressive in the geometry. The plate also makes it stiff, okay? It's not super stiff, it's not the Alpha Fly plate, but it is stiff, okay? So this shoe, for me, it's purely a racing shoe. And as a racing shoe, it's pretty decent. It is fast, it is aggressive, it wants to go, it wants to push you, it pushes you to the front, to the mid and front of your foot, and it turns over really well. This is a good, very good racing shoe. It costs $170. Again, no promotions on this. It was announced at $160 with promotion. This would have been the best racing shoes on the market at that price point. $170, no promotions. It competes with other, okay, still very cheap, but the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3 is a much better midsole, very similar geometry, slightly less aggressive. This is more aggressive than the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3, in my opinion. And the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3, I believe it's $230 in the US, but you can buy it for less. Okay, so anyway, this is a racing shoe. As a racing shoe, this gets a thumbs up for me. Now let's talk about their marketing, because again, they don't know what this shoe is, or at least they seem like they sell it as a hybrid between a racing and training shoe. As a training shoe, as a super trainer, this is a big thumbs down. Okay, this shoe is too aggressive, the foam is too firm, it's very, very responsive, very, very bouncy, too much bouncy, too much responsive to be used at slower paces. It cannot slow down. It's very awkward at slower paces. To me, this is not a super trainer. Okay, it is a racing shoe. Thumbs up as a racing shoe, big thumbs down as a trainer. Okay, so this is my personal view on this shoe. And like I said, at this price point, it will be fairly competitive for racing, and it would not be as competitive as a super trainer. So this costs exactly the same as the Endorphin Speed 4, and as a trainer, the Speed 4 is a better shoe. This costs, I believe, exactly the same as the Nike Zoom Fly 6, and as a trainer, the Zoom Fly 6 is much better than this. This is too aggressive. This is too aggressive at that task, at the task of being a trainer. It cannot go slow. All right, so that's all I have to say for the 2025 Skechers lineup. I believe that Skechers is back. They have 3 good shoes. Like I said, I'm as usual, I'm a little puzzled with their marketing, their strategies, especially because internally they compete with their own brand, which does not make any sense to me. There's a lot of really bad shoes that mock these 3 in their own website, which I don't get why. But if you can get a hold of one of these 3, especially if they relax their policy of no promotions on them, then I believe they could be considered. Now, as I said, this is the most exciting shoe for me on the lineup. This is a good racer, but I would never call it a trainer. It's too aggressive for that. And this is a decent daily trainer. This is a basic daily trainer, but it's fairly decent at it. So if the price was $120, $140, $160, it would have been fantastic. Since it is $130, $150, $170, it's okay. it's okay. I guess within this market, that's an okay price point. Their big problem is the Skechers brand. That's what the big problem is. They compete with themselves. People hate them. People don't take them seriously because of these policies. So I don't know. I'm afraid these three are going to be quickly forgotten, except for just a few people. And I'm one of the people that have run with Skechers since a long time. I started running Skechers when they came out with the supercritical foam. They were the first on the market with supercritical foam, and honestly, it is a really good midsole. All these three have very good midsole, especially compared to basic EVA. Is it as good as the best midsole that are available now, right now? Is it as good as Light Strike Pro? No, it is not. But they're not bad shoes.